What's up, nerds? We're your hosts this week. I am Jake.
And I am Chad.
This week we're sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We are also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
So we will be talking about The Legend of Vox Machina, Season 2, on Amazon Prime Video.
And we will also be talking about The Last of Us now streaming on HBO Max. So, let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd Podcast.
Tink.
Tink.
Nerd. Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd Podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Jakeson,
That doesn't work.
Jacoby.
It's just Jackson.
Yeah. But, like, unique.
Yeah.
Because crystals.
Yeah.
Sorry. How was your week?
Spelled with two N's, but not where you think.
Two N's and a Y.
Yeah.
What do you think? How was your week, though?
It was good. We bought a new couch because I won't name anybody, but a friend of ours is moving on with his life, her life, their life, because his life already ruined it. And he doesn't have any furniture, so we're giving him our basement couch, which is a little too big for our basement anyway. So we went out yesterday and bought a new couch. Really excited about it. It's like a mechanical like recliner. It's a little bougie, but it was on sale for like half the price, and I was like, dope.
Yeah, I was going to say, those things are heavy and expensive.
They're delivering it and putting it together for $100. Thank
Oh,
God.
hell.
I'm too
yeah.
old for that shit these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, we've just been prepping for we have a big party coming up this weekend, as you know. You will be there.
A
And
summer
yeah,
theme.
yeah, it's a Hawaiian theme. Hello.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Uh,
Luau.
or sorry, aloha. It's a Hawaiian theme. Aloha.
Shit.
But other than that, that's really all I got going on this week. How about you?
Well, you've been playing a lot of video games.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, I've been playing finally it came out in 2018, but I'm finally playing Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. It's a lot of fun. It's really hard,
Oh,
but
it's
it's a lot
such
of
a
fun.
good game, though.
Yeah. I'm having a good time with that. Other than we talked about it off screen, because you've played it
Yeah.
through and through. There are missions in that game where you play as Mary Jane Watson and you literally just walk around.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're very annoying. Just
And there's
a few,
a lot of them.
Yeah, and a couple other like supporting characters that don't
Yeah.
have abilities, and you just like walk around and then like crouch.
Yeah.
That's
Avoid
about
being seen by these people, and then you literally just walk behind things. It's fucking dumb.
it. Yeah.
Other than that, the game is great. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. It's such a fun game. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I can't wait for you to finish that and then start playing Miles Morales.
Did you play Miles Morales already?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? You
Yeah.
beat it already? Nice.
Yeah, I didn't get it right
Do you
when it
like it
came out,
better
but
than Spider-Man? Equally?
I'd say pretty close to equally. I really liked the Spider-Man story.
Mm,
The Miles Morales story is pretty awesome also.
just
And
not
like
amazing.
I see what you did there. Uh, no, it's a ton of fun as well.
Title of your sex name. Sorry.
And he's got like different abilities, which is cool to
Yeah.
like.
Oh, yeah, I
play
didn't
with
even
those.
think about
Yeah.
that. That will be fun. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, like when he can turn invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that's read the comics or seen Into the Spider-Verse knows this,
Yeah.
and has like his
Electric
little, like,
webs.
electric shock thing.
Which you kind of have in Spider-Man, like we were talking about that.
Yeah,
You have the
like
pulse.
tech and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So,
Cool. How about you?
That's
How was
pretty
your week?
my week was pretty good. Yeah, didn't do a whole lot. Been playing a lot of video games as well, on the PC more. And then I played D&D last night, which was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We normally play for like 3.5 hours at a time, and last night we played for like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
We played in
Yeah.
we started at
You're a
7:30
little,
and we played until like 1:30, and we're drinking and joking around the whole time. And
I was gonna
so,
say you're a little worse for wear today.
yeah, I was feeling rough this morning, that's for sure. But yeah, it was a good time. In other news, we had briefly mentioned it on the show in the past, but the whole thing going on with Alec Baldwin, from when the director for his upcoming
Rust.
film Rust was accidentally killed from a prop gun or prop bullet
Projectile from a
projectile. Yeah,
prop gun. Yeah.
uh, shot and killed her, which was very unfortunate. But he is being charges are have been brought against him
Yeah.
for like involuntary manslaughter or something along the lines of, you know,
hmm Yeah.
that.
So then
Which,
there's been a debate online as whether he should be charged with that or not, because some people are like it wasn't his fault, blah blah blah, and other people are he was the producer of the show, it was his fault. So we thought we'd at least weigh in a little bit.
yeah, I mean, there, you're right. It wasn't his fault. That's why it's involuntary manslaughter. It's not a
hmm
murder charge.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, he still has some form of responsibility behind it. I mean, he's producing the show, and my only thing with that is if charges are being brought against him, the props manager should also have the same charges, because that was his literal job to make sure
Yeah.
that it was operating safely. I mean, there wasn't like a live round or anything in it. It was still a
Yeah.
blank, but
But with the
there's,
blank there's still an explosion
yeah, and
and
there's like a cap still. Uh, this is kind of where like shooting your wad kind of comes from. It's also from like shotguns and stuff like that. There's basically like a wad in there so that, you know, it's just not, it keeps the powder from just like falling out of an empty case.
mhm,
Most of the time the wads burn when they're fired, but sometimes they don't, which is where that
yeah.
term comes from. But that was more than likely what the projectile was that was fired out of
Yeah.
the actual gun.
And then that makes me wonder why two things. One, why you don't just use like a completely fake gun, because I mean, if you look at like I told you off camera is like in the MCU, like Sam Jackson is holding like a wood gun and they just CGI like a gun and it's
Yeah,
whatever. And if you don't have the budget for that, which maybe they don't, why not just not put bullets in the gun at all, whether they're blanks or otherwise, because they have to add all those sound effects in later anyways. So
yeah,
why not just pull the trigger with nothing in the fucking gun so there is no potential projectile or accidental bullet. This isn't the first time that this has happened. Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, famously died filming The Crow from the same thing. Projectile from a gun uh,
yeah,
flew out and killed him.
yeah. I agree with you. Also, I mean, props are so good nowadays, you know? Like, props departments are so talented. There's so many incredible people that could create a fake gun that when you pull the trigger, it's still spring loaded. So, you know, like the slide pops back, gives a little bit of recoil like a gun would, because you're going
But
to
no
add the,
explosion.
but still no explosion. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just like airs and air, airs and spring, air and springs doing it because you're going to add the CGI anyways to,
And the sound effect later,
yeah.
you know, like why are we not doing that?
Yeah. It's wild because literally people can die from the way it's being done now. So
hmm
do better, Hollywood as a whole. And
Yeah.
we just wanted to kind of weigh in on that and give an update as to what that
Condolences to
is.
both, you know,
Yeah.
it sucks that that person is dead. It also sucks. I can't imagine. being Alec Baldwin and fucking shooting somebody
Yeah,
and killing them. Like that's gotta just rock you to the core. You're not
yeah.
prepared for something like that. So sad
Because I mean,
for
it very
all
truly
parties
was an
involved.
accident.
Yeah.
It's just a very unfortunate situation.
Hmm.
But I am glad that someone is being held responsible instead of just chalking it up to, well, sometimes these things happen because they shouldn't. They don't have to.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, work. Had to answer.
no, you're totally fine. Uh, and to not be such a downer now, let's talk about our first sponsor so we can get into the rest of our episode.
Get it, girl.
Yes. Uh, Raise energy drinks. We've been talking about them for a long time now. You all know. Zero sugar, zero calorie, zero crash. If you don't like energy drinks, there's so much more to choose from their website, from protein, pre workout, cake in a cup, pancakes, all of that. So listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about the legend of Vox Machina. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely zero calories, zero sugar, and zero carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
Okay, nerds, we are going to talk about The Legend of Vox Machina Season 2 on Amazon Prime. Before we get started, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, go watch it, come back.
If you
Uh,
didn't watch it, why?
it's fucking amazing.
I know.
Go watch it, come back, listen to this part. Anyways, that's enough. Fucking A, they released another 3 episodes. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe they just released the first 3 episodes and we're gonna do one episode at a time after that. But nope, they released another 3 episodes. So 4, 5, and 6 are available now. And I watched all 3 of them. You watched the first two, or the four and
Yeah,
five. I watched 4, 5, and 6. But fuck yeah, this show is awesome.
it's so good.
Yeah.
As we kind of expected.
Which we even called last week.
Yeah, Vex isn't dead. Like
What?
she not dead. I mean, it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's really hard to stay dead.
Yeah.
Uh, it can happen, but it's very hard.
Hmm.
It's easier to stay dead in a comic book than it is in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, uh, it looks like they're trying to revive her through, like magic and spells and healing, but it's not working. So Vax kind of like makes a deal with an entity whose tomb they are in.
Yeah. And it was a weird deal because didn't say anything to him. He was just like, "Take me instead, you bitch." And she was just like, looks at him and was like, "Okay."
Yeah, and lets Vex's like soul drop back into her body, but she doesn't kill Vax either. Like
Yeah.
instead, he becomes like we're saying
Kind of like
her because
I was
it's
gonna
like
say
the
kind of like a
maiden of
vessel maybe.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like her chosen champion or
Yeah.
like the warrior.
Yeah. He's kind of becoming a twat though. With
Yeah,
the vestige. They're calling it vestige, yeah.
yeah.
Which is like a suit of armor that looks like like a raven. It kind of looks like Jon Snow's gear at the wall.
Yeah, it really does.
Um, but yeah, he's kind of got a little batitude all of a sudden.
Attitude.
That's a bad attitude, in case
Oh,
anybody
I thought
didn't.
it was because like his little cloak looks like wings. So like I was thinking like bat wings, like a
Oh no, no, I was like,
there's
you
the
could,
Batmobile, but when
yeah,
he's
yeah.
grumpy, he has a
You
batitude.
thought I was an animal, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can have an attitude, or you could have a batitude, which is a bad attitude, or you could have a ratitude, which is like a rad attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, bruh?
Can you have a Never mind, I'm not going to go there cuz some people don't like that word. I was going to say
Moist?
that was funny. No, I was going to say cuntitude.
Oh, what?
Cuntitude? A
Oh,
cunty attitude? Said it anyways.
I just call that being cunty.
Yeah. It's
Being a
short.
little
It's
cunty.
shorthand. You know,
Being a little cunty.
it's the common vernacular.
I have never actually in my entire life ever called somebody that word. I do it
Really?
once. They deserved it. You know the story.
I have a few times. It's
Other than
always when
that,
it's justified.
yeah, usually it's like at the TV,
Mm.
like a character I don't like. I'm like,
They're kind of cunty.
I'm kind of cunty. Oh, don't like that person. Um, back on track here. Uh, Fox McCana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vax has a little cunty attitude now.
Cuntitude. Thank you. It's catching on.
We did it. We made a word. Somebody call Urban Dictionary.
Uh, yeah, but I mean, like, the armor is definitely enchanted, and it gives him, you know, speed and agility, and it's pretty awesome when it's actually used, like, in a fight scene, because
Yeah.
he's just fucking Naruto running. Just,
Yeah. I was like, very anime.
yeah.
It's like,
But
you
it's
guys all got
sweet.
that, right?
Yeah. Completely understood you.
Oh man. We get to see where. Oh fuck. We should. What's the name of the bear?
Trinket.
Trinket. We get to see where Trinket came from, which is kind of cool.
It's just sad. It was a Bambi origin story,
Yeah,
kind of.
kind of. Only Vax was the one who like put it out of its misery.
Well, it had like air. The Trinket's
Yeah.
mother was basically
dying.
dying. So they showed it mercy by giving it a quick death.
Mm.
And then there was a little bear cub that they took, and that's why Trinket is so adorable. Voiced by the legendary Cheech.
Cheech Marin.
Yeah, just hilarious. It just goes.
If I remembered the actual song, I would have sang it just now, but it kind of sounds racist if you don't remember the rest of the words. But the song from Cheech and Chong that Cheech Marin sings about weed, it's called Beaners because but he's not talking about people. He's talking about like the seeds in the weed.
Yeah.
He's like Beaners. And he's like talking about pulling the
seeds.
seeds and stems out of the weed, but without the rest of the song, if I just sang Beaners, it would sound terrible. So
Kind of like what you did, but you at least gave context.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you covered yourself. It's good.
Should we just play Taylor Swift? Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh, so funny.
We're funny, damn it.
Yeah, but like this, we were a little disappointed that Percy didn't get hit a little bit harder from Vax about the whole,
I
sorry
was
for
like,
killing your
I
sister
hate
thing.
Percy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Disappointed. Yeah. No, Percy sucks. Um, we know like the episode 3 ending after Vax told I'm going down into this cavern. Nobody touch anything until I get back. And the first thing Percy does is like, check this out. And Vex is like, my brother said not to touch anything. And he's like, do you always listen to everything your brother says? And he touches it and she fucking died as a result of it.
Yeah.
So we were hoping that even when I watched that happen, I was like, oh, it's like Vex is gonna kick his ass. He hit him like one time, and I was like, oh, pff, lame,
I mean, he rocked him, like,
whatever.
but also, I mean, it's like punching a branch that's no longer attached to a tree. Of course, it's going to fall over. But
Yeah.
yeah, like
like
Percy was
I would have
trying to
liked to see.
apologize, and
Yeah.
Vax is like, I don't want to talk about it. And Percy, like, instead of being like, you're right, I'm sorry, it was like, no, let me apologize. And Vax is just like, and down goes Percy. And he's like, yep, okay.
Yeah. I would have liked to see him just like pummel him and like the other like members of the team have to like pull him off of him. I hate Percy. He's the
Yeah.
worst. The worst character on the show. Now,
Yeah.
and we've gotten into it, I won't go into it. He was better the first season. He was still a bitch in the first season, but at least there was like context to him. Now he's just a guy with a gun,
And just whiny.
just a Republican.
There are so many parallels there. I have nobility. People should listen to me.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm
Guns.
rich. Here's my
Yeah.
gun.
And a crybaby.
Yeah. Things aren't
Anyways.
going my way. Wah.
Oh fuck.
Ah,
Sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Uh, just
There's
kind
a
of
lot going on in these episodes.
there is a lot
Yeah.
going on, and I mean,
Aside from our jokes. Yeah.
yeah. Grog, who we know took that sword from the vampire dude from the first season,
Mhm.
where it basically drinks the blood of his enemies for him and like gives him power and makes it sharper and things like that, is corrupting him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you gotta watch the sixth episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, something happens.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm not telling you, I'm just saying something happens.
No. I have my ideas. No.
What's your idea? I won't tell you if you're right or not. I just want to know.
That he goes into a rage and turns on the party and hurts Pike. No, good. Because that's kind of like he like is having visions of that happening.
He had a vision of him killing like the entire group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a part where they're fighting. They're kind of like mini dragons that are coming from the fire plane. And as he's slicing them down with a sword, they just kind of like bleed lava
Mm-hmm.
instead of blood.
Blood.
So the sword is like, I need blood. I hunger for blood. He's like, these things don't have blood. Like he's talking to the sword.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, then find me some. And like, he looks over his shoulder and Pike is just like right there. And I was like, no.
Yeah. There's also a part, I think it's in episode 2, and I'm sorry if it's not, but there's a part where the sword tells him like, "Find me blood," and Grog is like, "There is no blood," and he goes, "Find me some, or I'll find it myself."
Oh, yeah, that's during that same fight.
That is okay. Good.
Yeah.
I was like, "Shit, I feel bad if this is in episode 3 or 6," but
Yeah.
I keep screwing that up because I'm like, it was 3 episodes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah. Grog just like keeps talking to the sword. There's even a part where like he takes the sword with him to go take a dump in the woods and just like sitting there talking to it. And Scanlan is like, I'm going to go. Grog's been gone a while. I'm going to go check on him. So he like hears Grog talking. He's like, what are you doing? You talking to your poop? And Grog's like, oh, yeah, just establishing my dominance. Play me a song.
Sing me a song.
It'll help.
Yeah.
And then we
It's
get
a good
a
song.
beautiful song from Scanlon
Yeah.
about falling in love at an outhouse.
How's it go again? Uh,
Met at an outhouse like on the edge of
was it an outhouse? Is that what he says?
yeah.
Is it at an outhouse at the edge of the world? Something like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's beautiful. He's got a much better voice than me. It actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
And like you haven't watched the sixth episode yet, but there is actually a full length, not that song, but a full length song from him, and it's really fucking good. I'm
Yeah.
like literally probably gonna download it. It's good.
Well, I mean, like in season one, he like plays a metal song.
Hmm.
It was just super awesome. When
This is a little slower and sadder,
yeah,
but it's really good. I have it. I think I have it pulled up on YouTube. I won't play it. I just the name of it. Nope. YouTube did not keep it where I was. So never mind.
yeah.
But
But
yeah, it
when
looks
when
yeah.
Scanlon actually like plays a song to use like his bard, like
Mhm.
bardic inspiration is basically what it is. Um, those songs always slap. They're so good.
Mhm. This one's really good. Yeah, it's and it gives us more depth about his character, which is really cool because so far he's really just been like jokes and
Yeah.
inappropriate,
And
but
he's like the only
he's
one that
like
we haven't had any like
yeah.
depth to.
And he's like my one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice. Like, oh,
Yeah.
he's not a douchebag all the time.
And then we see Keyleth. Just, oh my God. I think she might be my overall favorite, but Keyleth, Pike, and Scanlan are my top three from the party. But she is so badass. She's an elemental uh, elf, like a
Elf?
high elf.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that this takes place in the Eberron world of Dungeons and Dragons.
They
Um,
literally go to like Everrun, like 2U's.
no, Eberron is the name of the planet
Oh,
from.
Eberron. I
Yeah.
thought you said Everrun. I was like, they literally went there in
Oh,
like episode 2. What are you talking about?
no. Eberron is the name of the one of the planets that's in the universe of D&D. But it seems like she's almost in line with like in the Eladrin, which are magical elves that are much more powerful because they draw their power from like the seasons and the elements and stuff like that.
Yeah. I did make while we were watching it, like I made
Avatar
a
jokes.
Pocahontas joke.
Oh,
'Cause her mom was like, "You got to listen to like whatever," and there was like wind started blowing and leaves, and I was like, "Paint with all the colors of the wind." But anyways, keep going. Sorry.
oh, it's probably more embarrassing for me because I live alone. But during that same scene, when it's like the flashback of Keyleth as a child, like talking to her mother and like showing
Mm.
that they can control water, fire, air, earth, and I was like, and when they needed her most, she disappeared, never to be seen again. That was the last Avatar. Because like they are air powered people, and she
Yeah.
literally shows that she can manipulate all four elements, and then she walks away, and I was like, huh,
Yeah.
I've seen this
She
before.
she was a bad Keyleth was a badass in episode 5.
Yeah.
I almost said 2. I'm like, "Ugh, math. Dude, that was sweet. She goes through the fire and then she turns into like a giant fire demon and like,
Yeah,
it was so cool. That was a good episode.
and literally closed the portal to the fire plane from the
Hmm.
inside,
Mm,
and then just like probably turned into air to like come
yeah,
back out. It was sweet.
it was cool.
I wanted to make a really inappropriate sex joke there.
Do it.
Because there's a little bit of air trapped inside, so just she queffed her way out. It's a quaff. Sorry, mom.
Nice. Nice.
You were trying so hard not to laugh as hard as you wanted to.
Uh, Pros
Sorry,
and
everyone.
cons. I think all we really have is for a con is Percy. Percival. It's
Yeah,
the worst.
he's just he needs a tude check, if you will.
Mm. He
Uh,
needs to go from a batitude to a ratitude real soon.
yeah, and he needs like actual like character growth.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that we are skipping over, but I mean, we don't want to break down the whole episodes for you guys. Just go watch it. It's super
Yeah,
good. Hopefully, what we've mentioned here is enough to like make you want to watch it. That's what we're trying to do. Go watch
yeah.
it. Be nerds with us. It's super good.
Plus, uh, so this show is based off of campaign one or campaign two from Critical Role. It's a bunch of, I mean, we mentioned this last week. Critical Role is a YouTube channel of a bunch of people in Hollywood, mostly voice actors, but some are, on-screen actors as well, where they get together and they play Dungeons and Dragons. And there's like the main party, which, is like Pike, Grog, Scanlan, Vax, Percy, and Keyleth. But then they have like celebrity guests on, like Stephanie Beatrice from like
Rosa Diaz
Brooklyn Nine
from Brooklyn
Nine,
Nine-Nine.
Encanto, um,
She
David
was in
Tennant.
Encanto?
Yeah, she was the main girl with the glasses.
That was Rosa?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah,
Holy shit, I love that movie. Dude, that's gonna blow Nicole's mind when I tell her
yeah.
that. That's great. Now I gotta like I won't do it right now when we're done, but I gotta like look up like a really son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, the more you know.
Oh, sorry, I did imagination. It's the stars.
Yeah.
But in news along the lines of the Legend of Vox Machina, basically just Critical Role, is that their campaign that they just finished that has completely different characters has also been picked up by Amazon Prime to be a new show
Oh, nice.
once they
Didn't know that.
finish Legends of Vox Machina.
Like it.
And I think there was something else. It's like a multi-part, like huge deal that they signed with Amazon for Critical Role, to the point where I think that they're also going to maybe produce their like actual gameplay show,
Hmm.
which is
Cool.
gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna help get a lot of more people into Dungeons and Dragons as well, because this and Stranger Things have kind of re-sparked interest in the game for a new generation,
D&D.
which is
Yeah.
sweet.
And now there's the movie coming out too with Chris Pine.
Yeah,
And I think his name's Will Smith, but it's the kid. He's like a young kid. Is it Will Smith?
I know who you're talking about.
He was in Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World, I mean.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Um,
about. I can't remember his
I
name.
thought his name was Will Smith because I was like, oh, the fuck? But
Um,
yeah. Who else was Michelle Rodriguez is in it.
Hugh Grant is in it,
Yeah, Hugh Grant. Yep. I don't know.
and I don't know the Justice Smith,
Justice Smith. My bad. Very far off.
and
I knew there
then
was a Smith.
yeah, and then Sophia Lillis is going to be in it. I don't know her from anything, but she basically is going to play a live action version of Keyleth, by the looks of
Nice.
it. Being able to transform into animals and as an elf that has magical abilities.
Mm.
So kind of cool. Uh,
Yeah.
we'll we'll see. I am iffy. I think that it looks like it's going to be fun and good, and I'm sure that there's going
Yeah.
to be a lot of like nerd fan service. I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to be a decent story. I feel like
I
it's
don't
going to
think
be
so.
like Doom.
I think they're just like, yeah, I think it was a money grab. Hey, like you said, there's been a lot more interest brought up around D&D lately,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, man, this is becoming popular again. Let's fucking make a movie." Even though, they made one a while back. Terrible, terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
But now doing another one, and it's Chris Pine is in it, which gives me a little hope. I
Yeah.
love Chris Pine. Like, let's get it, but I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see. It'll at least have a lot of like fan service.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
check it out and we'll review it on the podcast.
yeah. It comes out
Yeah,
next month, I think. March?
yeah, a
End of
couple months
March?
from now.
Actually, that time you're right.
Um, oof.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that all
Uh,
we had?
yeah, that's it. Tell them about
Yeah.
our other sponsor, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Sponsor number two is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. All right, y'all friends. So we're going to talk about the second episode of The Last of Us, now airing and streaming on HBO and HBO Max. If you haven't watched the show, first off, why not? Secondly, spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched it and you are wanting to or planning to, tune out, come back. That's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Before we get into this episode, we forgot to mention it at the start of the episode this week, but Annie Wershing passed away. She was in Star Trek Enterprise.
No, Picard. Picard.
She was in both.
Oh, she was in
yeah,
Enterprise
she was.
and Picard. Got it.
Yeah, she reprised her role of Lyanna in Picard. But also, she voiced Tess in the video game from The Last of Us. So, since we forgot to mention it earlier, I kind of figured this was a good time. Rest in peace. Thank you for everything you did for nerds. And condolences to her friends and family. Now, the show itself. Just, chef's kiss. This show is so
good.
fucking good.
So good. Also, the flower theory that we brought up last week is confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. 100, hold on. 100%.
100%. Did I say it right?
I think so.
Cool.
I don't
Good enough.
It's cool. Yeah, it was we had through no theory of our own, we read it somewhere else that the fungus that was responsible for the zombie-esque
Yeah.
apocalypse was spread through flour.
Yeah.
And there was a number of hints that we mentioned last week and this last episode, last Sunday, confirmed that
Yeah.
was true.
Yeah, in episode 2. And just like with the first episode, it starts with a flashback. This one isn't as far back. This is just a couple months before
So good.
the main part of episode 1 starts, before the
I
outbreak.
think this one was a little creepier than the first one.
It was so much more terrifying.
Yeah.
Because the first one was like,
Set it up.
oh, science, and if these things happen, we could be
Yeah,
looking
this
at
is
issues.
what could happen.
And then this is what did happen.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, it's in The flashback takes place in Jakarta, which was mentioned on the TV news
The
in one of the
largest flower
first scenes.
distribution.
Yeah, it's the largest flour mill in the world. And a scientist is brought in to take a look at a dead body. That was showing like weird decomposing things, and basically had been exposed to the flour directly to the cordyceps and
It was
the yeast.
one of 14 workers that worked at the plant.
Right.
Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was but the only one that had died, I think, that
Hmm.
they at least had. The other like 13 were just
Out
out in
there.
the world. And the scientist takes a look at the body, does like an autopsy, pulls out some of those tendrils from the mouth that we've seen, where
Mm.
they, instead of actually just like biting and just letting like saliva transmit the disease, like the tendrils are what transmits the fungal disease. And the most terrifying part of it was the scientist like pulled out the tendrils and was like, "Oh shit," and like ran out of the lab and was talking to like a military officer or a military policeman. He's like,
MP.
"Yeah, an MP, if you will, military policeman."
Yeah.
For those that didn't know what that was, I know it's a bunch of nerds listening, so you might not have. He's like, "What's wrong? What should we do? How do we handle this?" And she's like, "Bomb the city.
Bomb.
Bomb the city and
Bomb.
everyone in it."
Yep. Because she asked him, she's like, how many other people have been exposed to this? And he says like 14 or something like that. And she's like, and do you know where they are? And he's like, no. And she goes, bomb.
Yeah, bomb it
Bomb
all.
everything. Bomb it, everything. You can't let it breach the
Yeah, it can't
edges
leave.
of this city.
Yeah,
And just the terrified look on both their faces. And then she starts crying and is like, can somebody please bring me home? I'd like to be with my family.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like my
And
last moment spent with my family, and it's like,
it is
holy
horrifying.
shit.
I really hope they do these openings for every single episode.
Oh, I hope so too.
Because one thing that you and I had talked about off screen is that this is scientifically not that far-fetched.
Yeah,
Because there is a fungus that does this to animals.
yeah. It's a type
Well,
of
like insects and
yeah.
shit like that.
It's a
But
cold-blooded
yeah,
things. It's a type of cordyceps mushroom.
which is why in the first episode, the flashback, they say that this can't happen to people because we're warm-blooded, they can't exist in that
Yeah,
environment.
they can't
And then
survive in above
and
94 degrees.
and then the guy from the Mummy, what was his name again? I forgot it.
Oh, John
I-
Henning?
Hannah.
John Hanna. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. He says unless they adapted to global warming, then they would be able to live in warmer climate
Yeah.
things, like living
Yeah.
things.
He was like, yeah,
So
exactly. They
so
can't.
it's a real
But if
thing,
the world
which
got
is
warmer,
that's one of the coolest things about the show is that this is something that they took from. This is not just like something someone made up and was like, oh, let's make it an unknown virus that wipes out humanity and they're zombies. This is something that's real that actually happens
in
on our
nature.
planet
Yeah.
to smaller animals. But that's what makes it scary. In that flashback in the first episode is he says, if global warming were to happen and they adapted to warmer environments, what would stop them from taking over warm-blooded animals
Yeah.
or humans? Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty scary.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Because
which is why this is so good.
the world has
Other-
gotten warmer.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's getting warmer.
yeah.
No matter what you believe, science is real.
Science doesn't care about your feelings.
Yeah, it's crazy. scary, which is why the show is so good.
Yeah,
Game, I guess we should say the game was so good, and the television adaptation of the game is on par with how good the game was. I haven't played the game. I looked it up and I'm gonna buy it on Amazon. It's like 26 bucks.
yeah,
I'm buying both of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't looked to see if part two has been adapted for the PC. Uh, from what I saw, it looks like part one has been adapted for the PC, and I think that I
Don't
would.
you have PlayStation though?
I do,
Just
but I don't like having the physical disc,
mm,
and I don't have the. I stopped paying for PlayStation Online a couple months ago, and eventually I'll get it back, but it's not on my priority because I've been playing a lot of PC games. So
gotcha. My bad.
no, you're fine. I have a really nice monitor for my PC that I like to sit in front of and game with. So
Yeah. But yeah, this show's
oh,
freaking crazy.
it's so stressful to watch. It's like
It is
anxiety inducing.
anxiety. That's a good word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so well done.
We don't hate what's her face as much.
Ellie, played by
Ellie.
Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
Um,
A little better episode too.
little, yeah. The the big thing that you had pointed out is that like when she curses, it feels very forced.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense also because like it's a child.
Yeah.
You know, she's 14 years old in the show and in the first part of the game. But it just was like overly
Yeah.
forced in
Like
her
when I say
dialogue.
fuck, it just it's like fuck.
Yeah.
When she says fuck, it's like fuck. I'm gonna fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's like calm down, kid. Just a word.
But
But
what's
yeah.
cool is that even Ashley Johnson, who voiced Ellie for the game, if that name sounds familiar, she also voices Pike in The Legend of Vox Machina.
What?
It's like it's all connected.
It's like a circle.
Has even said that like Bella is like portraying Ellie so well. Like,
Mm.
and I mean, I agree. I think that her delivery on some of the lines seems a little forced, but I mean, the show is so well done. I mean, there's direct scenes
Hmm.
taken from the game,
Yeah.
like them overlooking the Capitol,
Hmm.
and like
The
still,
burning house on the
yeah,
side of the road.
yeah.
Yeah.
But even from this episode, like when they're
Yeah.
looking at the Capitol and it's like, is
Can't beat this view.
yeah, she's like, oh,
Yeah.
Jerry's still out, and stuff like that. Like,
Even crossing that beam between the two buildings
yeah,
right before that scene is straight out of the game.
yeah. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. The one of the creators of the game is an executive producer and director.
That makes sense.
So,
Because there's like I've been watching, I haven't played the game, but I've been watching some of the gameplay on YouTube just so that I have like a more connected like way to talk about this until I play the games,
mhm.
which will likely be not until after the show is over. So I've been trying to like be more accurate like when we talk about it. And yeah, I mean even the scene in the building where Joel, Ellie, and Tess
Mhm.
are like running from the zombies, and someone made a joke about it, and it was very true. It was like Ellie and Tess are just like hiding the whole time while Joel is just getting fucked. Like he's just like fighting these fucking fungus zombies, fombies, whatever you want to call them, fumbies.
Fungies.
Yeah. And they're just like hiding behind cabinets and shit. And it's like, somebody help this guy.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But yeah, yeah, that's directly from the game. I mean, literally like shot for shot watching the gameplay and watching the TV show. It was like so,
Even the pacing of the dialogue.
yeah.
And, some of the dialogue's a little adjusted because obviously the game is a little bit older. No one cares if we can see your beer can, Jake. But like the pacing of the dialogue, like when they're in the hotel that's flooded on the bottom
That
part,
part was cool.
and
Yeah.
like Ellie like trying to push the like the bellhop cart, and like as
Hmm.
she's like talking about it, and then like the frog jumps on the piano, like
Yeah. It's a heavy frog.
directly
Yeah.
from the game. It's so crazy.
That part was cool. A couple things I liked from that part was one, when Joel walks in the water and Ellie is like, I can't swim, and he goes, so? And she goes, so I can't swim, and he like jumps and he's like, it's like waist high, like you're
Yeah.
fine. And she like rolls her eyes like a teenager would. And
Yeah.
then when she's like pretending to check in at the front desk, and Joel is like, you're a weird kid.
But I thought that that scene was also super powerful because it reminds you that she is a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she has been thrown into this situation as someone that doesn't have a lot of life
Mhm.
experience. I mean, even before the outbreak, Joel was, a veteran
Yeah.
of war. Like he's had training, and then this happens, and he's gone through so much before the character of Ellie was even born.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
it, and I think that that also kind of changed his perspective too. Because I mean, he's kind of been an asshole.
He
Don't
is
get
an
me wrong,
asshole.
Pedro Pascal is still daddy,
No, no, no. The
but
character
yeah,
is he's total
he's a
dick.
dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was so awesome though is we got a good look at the clickers.
Hmm.
Oh,
And why they call them that.
yeah, they're heavily mutated, infected. They no longer have eyes. Basically, the fungus is growing out of their face, so they use like echolocation.
Yeah. It's very much like a venereal disease. They look like they have some people would call it cauliflower dick. Didn't the lead singer of The Used have this?
I I don't know, but
Because I think
it
they
sounds like
were,
Bert because he used to be a
yeah.
very grungy, like
I just
crunchy
remember
looking
watching
guy.
the Osbournes, and Kelly Osbourne and him were dating for a while,
I
and Sharon
forgot
Osbourne
that.
was like, I heard people call you cauliflower dick, and her daughter was like, Mom.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyways, they look like that. Look it up.
Look up
Or don't.
the clickers. Maybe not cauliflower dick.
No, look up cauliflower dick so you can see the comparison.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. This is bad.
You're welcome. Just look down, bro.
It looks normal, I think.
Just being just being a Joel.
Oh, look at that. We made him into a verb.
Yeah, anyways, they look like fungus. Like their heads are like
Yeah.
mushrooms, basically,
Yeah. Kind
right?
of looks
Yeah,
like
but veiny.
and triumphant. Uh like chicken of the woods. Kind of like oyster mushrooms.
There you go. But veins all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are terrifying.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
they're
It is
terrifying in the
creepy.
game, and like again, neither of us have played it, but like watching gameplay and stuff like
Hmm.
that, it's just they are fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And the cool part in the show is like those are just like prosthetics. Like
Hmm.
so little of the clickers are CGI. Like they hired like circus acrobats and put all this like makeup on them and showed them how to walk and to match the game, and then they did it. In an interview I saw
I wonder if
with
you could do that with guns.
Oh, look, circle.
It's a
And
circle.
it's a full circle. It's like we have come full circle, you know? But I did
That wasn't scripted, by the way.
no, no, that's
Thus,
how funny we
we're
are.
funny, damn it. Yeah.
But I did see in an interview with Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal talking about the clickers because before they filmed that, they didn't let them see them.
Ooh, I like that. They did
And
that with the It movie.
oh, with Pennywise, yeah,
Yeah, so the kids didn't actually see what um
was it Bill Sarsgaard?
Bill Skarsgård, yeah,
Skarsgård.
looked like. So their reaction to him the first time, with them screaming and like, like that was
Yeah,
real because they hadn't seen him yet.
yeah,
And then, yeah, it was. I think that's cool. I like that they did that for this too. That's
yeah.
awesome.
And Pedro Pascal was even saying he's like, I almost shit my pants. Like it was terrifying.
Yeah,
It's
that's cool.
this show is just glorious. They're doing it so well. Unfortunately, there is a death. Tess is dead. DED
Like
dead.
DED dead.
Like OMG dead.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Well,
gets bit.
she got bit from.
Well, we skipped over in that same scene. Uh, Ellie also gets bit, and we don't know that Tess is bit at that moment. But Ellie
Right.
is like, "Well, if one of us was gonna get bit, good thing it's me because she's
That's
immune."
right. Yeah.
And then they show later, when they're inside of
The Capitol building.
the Capitol, yeah, um,
That.
Tess is talking, and Ellie is like, "Oh fuck, she's infected," and then Joel is like, "Show me," and she like pulls her collar down, and she's got a bite mark.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Yeah. But she does. She sacrifices herself
Mm-hmm.
to kill a lot of infected because they trigger a horde because there's basically like an underground network or like hive mind brain
Which Tess
of
explains in this episode to Ellie, which is really cool. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's basically like the root system. You could step on it in one part and miles away it would know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which was a really cool scene
yeah,
when it happens.
because there's just like a random infected person, they kill him and he falls onto like a clump of root and then you see
One guy.
the yeah, like start to wrap around it and realize that it's dead. So it triggers a horde. And so Joel and Ellie run. Tess is dumping barrels of like flammable liquids, carrying a grenade,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And the horde
Well,
comes in there.
we also get a really important line, sorry, from Tess to Joel, and she is like, basically, Joel's an asshole, and he doesn't really give a shit about Ellie. Uh, and
Yeah.
Tess is like, look, this means something. This girl is immune. This means something. You have to save her. Promise me. And he's kind of skeptical. And then, like, as the horde is like coming, she's like, she grabs him by the arm and she's like, promise me, save who you can. And then he grabs Ellie, and Ellie's like, we can't leave her here. And he just like grabs her and runs,
Yeah.
and leaves Tess
Goes like
behind.
full dad mode. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter, you're coming. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is
It
a.
was
Oh,
That was
yeah.
good. That was probably like the best scene of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah. It
Because
was
she is like,
like very like emotionally driven.
she didn't seem, Tess didn't seem too invested in the kid either until like she was kind of like nudging Joel in the right direction up
Yeah.
until that point where she's like, fuck, I'm gonna die. Like, I have to get him to fucking understand. Like,
Yeah.
so like
You
up
you
until
can't
that
save
point,
me, but
she
you
was,
can save more.
yeah, she was kind of like, hey, like, we should take her with us. Like, she was influencing him until she realized she was gonna die. And she's like, look, dude, listen to me.
Yeah.
This girl is fucking important, and you need to protect her with everything you got.
Yeah, because Tess was always kind of like the one in
Yeah,
between them.
yeah,
Give it all you got.
Sorry. But yeah, so just setting that up, it's very emotional. It's a it's a really good scene. He grabs her, like you said, dad mode, just like doesn't look back, grabs Ellie and just bolts,
Yeah,
knowing that Tess is gonna die.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry. I
There
didn't mean to
is
interrupt you, but I
no.
just
You're
felt like
totally.
that needed to be.
You're right. That is a heavily important part towards the end of this episode. And then the horde comes in. Tess is trying to like create a diversion. She gets first she gets like pinned down by an infected, and he's just like, I'm gonna kiss you now.
Well, she was trying to light it before, like while he was walking up to
Oh
her.
right, yeah.
She was
Oh,
trying
it
to light
wasn't a
the.
grenade. You're right. There was just grenades there, but she was trying to light a lighter to drop on the fuel.
Hmm.
Yeah, and uh there's a very uncomfortable like fungal kiss.
Mm.
Just getting all of the fungus into the
Yeah, it's like
orifices.
a
They we call that a yeast infection.
yeast infection. Damn. The balls made me laugh because I grabbed it and they hit me in the face. We need a price check on Vagisil in aisle 7. Again, that's Vagisil. We got somebody here with a little extra. If you know, you know. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the rest of it,
Yeah,
but we'll leave it at
it's a
that.
little bit extra.
Me, myself, and Irene. Look it up.
Yeah. It's just. But in all seriousness, it was a very uncomfortable scene. But
Somebody
then,
pointed out online. That's why I was like, oh, I should say something, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Uh, that the lighter that Tess eventually does light
hmm
is the same lighter that oh, what's his name? What's the dude's name in Uncharted?
uh, Drake, Nathan
Nate
Drake.
Nathan Drake. It's the same lighter, same Zippo.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw it online. I again, I didn't discover this. I saw it online and I was like, oh, dope. It's like a cool like PlayStation
yeah, because both of
thing.
those are PlayStation
Yeah,
exclusive games.
yeah,
That's a cool like tie.
yeah.
That's really
Anyways,
cool.
go ahead. Sorry.
Well, then she blows herself up in a bunch of the infected inside the Capitol building. And that's where the episode ends.
Hmm.
But the song that's playing as they're watching the fire. Sorry, I didn't bring this up. It just like sparked
We didn't start the fire. No,
because
that's not
tested. Uh,
it.
no, but
It's
it's
always burning.
it's the song that I guess plays at the end of The Last of Us Part 2 in the game.
Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't know.
Um,
No, I haven't played it. Oh.
yeah. I didn't either. I heard it and I was like, it sounds on par. It's probably from the game, and I guess it's like a very important song from Part 2. So,
Nice.
which is cool.
Yeah, this show's so good.
Oh my god, I
I'm
love it.
excited. I mean, it's Sunday, so we're gonna watch episode 3 tonight.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't fucking wait.
yeah. We're gonna finish recording this. I'm gonna watch the 6th episode of Legends of Vox Machina, make myself dinner, and then watch The Last of Us.
Hmm. Time is it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've got a few hours until.
I also got to make dinner.
Yeah.
Well, help make dinner. Basically, I just cut veggies and Nicole makes dinner. She's like, cut this up. I got everything else. I'm like,
Oh, she's a really good
word.
cook.
Yeah.
Not saying you're not. You've never made me food, but she has.
Lies.
Oh, you've made burgers. We've done burgers.
And
And what else?
last summer, bro, I made, what was it? Jalapeno poppers and what else did we have on the grill?
Yeah,
We
but
made something on the grill last summer.
didn't she prep that stuff? I don't know. I was just kind of sitting there drinking. I asked if I could help, and you're like, do this.
Yeah.
And it was like, wash vegetables. And I was like, okay. I like washed them and handed them to you, and you're like, okay, cool. No, 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 no.
Yeah. No, we did the hobo meal. Hobo meals.
Oh
We
yeah,
did
I was
the,
like cutting potatoes and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, we did jalapeno poppers. That I don't. Did we
Hobo
do
potatoes and I was that when we
kebabs
did
or something? I don't remember.
was that when we did kebabs or was that when we did the vegan juicies?
No, no, no. That was when we did burgers, the Impossible Burgers. That was I don't remember.
It was like
I have a
last
picture. I could
fall.
fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our listeners don't care.
Yeah. No, that's a good
Sorry,
point.
we got off track
So
there.
go watch The Last of Us. It's fantastic. Well, it airs Sunday nights. I think 9 o'clock. Um,
8. I think it starts at 8 here, right?
something like that.
Or- Yeah. I
It's
don't really
it's
know. That's
fantastic.
Eastern, Central, whatever.
Yeah.
Means
I usually wait until 9 o'clock anyway, so maybe I'm watching it right when it airs.
I think it starts at 8. I think
Yeah.
we watched it at 8 o'clock last
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Well, go watch it, everyone. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
Um, but that's kind of all that we have. So we're gonna go ahead and close out this episode.
But before we close out this episode, Chad,
What? I'm just kidding. Yeah, we have a couple of honorable mentions.
you
Uh,
go.
so I mentioned it last week that I started it, and the OCD tendencies in me made me finish it. I finished watching The Warrior Nun on Netflix. It was very frustrating. The big reveal and climax that leads to a cliffhanger at the end of season one. Never get to see the actual outcome. You just kind of hear them talk about it in throughout season two, which is very frustrating because it looked like it was going to be badass. And then the big reveal or twist of season two, I called within the first 30 minutes of episode one of season two, which was also very frustrating. But the one redeeming thing was of season two was that the action sequences were so cool. Think John Wick, but with a bunch of nuns. It was pretty sweet. Um, and then also the show itself, because it was canceled from Netflix.
Oh.
Oh no, who would have guessed? Um, the way that it ended was like, oh, there's more to come, but it was almost like a Dark Knight Rises. Like, oh, here's a good jumping off point, or and
Oh, that sounds familiar.
yeah, it's kind of like another show that we just finished watching.
Hunters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally the final scene from The Dark Knight Rises was
Yeah.
how Hunters two season two ended.
Only no Michael Caine at the end.
I was really bummed. I was really hoping to see him sitting there with his little espresso cup and go, what?
Oh, I was just pretending to do the music from
Oh,
because after he does that,
dun,
then
dun,
it starts playing the Batman theme, and
yeah,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Joseph
Joseph
Gord Joseph Gordon-Levitt, uh, like swings into the Batcave
Flurgan.
and
What about you? What do you have for some honorable mentions?
I got a few things this week. Excuse me. Uh, I made Nicole watch Stir of Echoes with me. Old movie with Kevin Bacon. Seriously, one of my favorite horror movies. It's not overly scary. It's just kind of cool. Spoiler alert. Yeah, he basically has his wife's sister who's clairvoyant or whatever, kind of puts him in a trance, and ever since she puts him in a trance, he's open to ghosts and stuff like that.
Ooh.
And he finds out that there's a girl buried in his basement, and her ghost is trying to get him to figure out who killed her. It's really good.
Oh,
It's really, really good. Yeah. Um, we also watched Hacksaw Ridge. Uh,
such a good movie.
anybody, it's a great movie. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a Andrew Garfield fucking fanboy. Uh,
He
I love Andrew
stands
Garfield.
Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield.
And what'd you say?
You stan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's
Mm. Mm.
yeah, I love Andrew Garfield, and it's a Mel Gibson movie. I mean, the movie got a 7 minute standing ovation when it came out. Like it's really, really good. It's based on true story. Uh, check it out. I don't want to ruin anything. It's cool. And I don't want to talk too long. The other thing that I watched was the first two episodes of that 90s show. For people our age, if you know, you know, that 70s show. I grew up on that shit. I loved it. It
Yeah.
was fantastic. Um, I was reluctantly excited about that 90s show. Um, because nostalgia, I'm like, dope, but it's not going to be the same thing. So there are some cameos from the original cast, and for me, that's the only good thing about the show. There's some funny moments between like Eric, Donna, Kitty, and Red. Um, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis make a minute and 30-second cameo. Other than that, the kids, the new set of kids, which are basically Eric and Donna's daughter, Kelso and um, Jackie's son, and I mean, there's another foreign exchange student. They're over the top, cheesy, kind of annoyingly cheesy. Um, I don't know. Maybe I just aged out of it, and like, it's just not that good to me because like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
To I haven't watched it, but it seemed like it was just going to be
like a one-off.
Fuller House, but for that 70s show.
Yeah, basically. But like I said, like Kitty and Red are in it. Eric and Donna are in the first episode, along with Jackie and Kelso. Like, and those interactions were awesome and like really like felt like it. Also, like Topher Grace, what the hell? He must be a vampire. He's got the Keanu Reeves syndrome. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
They put that haircut on him and back in his Eric Foreman clothing. He looks exactly the same. He doesn't look like he aged at all. It's crazy. But anyways, I've only watched the first two episodes. I can't really sink or sail it yet. I'll finish watch again. Like you said, your OCD, my OCD
Yeah.
will make me finish it. As of right now, not really sold on it, but check it out, I guess,
Yeah.
if you're into that kind of thing.
Well, this comes to the part of the episode where we tell you that we love you, and then Jake
Give us your
loves to
money.
say, "Give us your money, please."
I
Um,
want that money. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I want. Yeah.
yeah, if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, we do have a monthly subscription through buymeacoffee.com. You get some exclusive merch, some members only exclusives. As more people join, we will put more and more into those behind the scenes and exclusive, like interviews, uncut episodes, things like that. That will be available to members only. If you don't want to give us a monthly subscription, we get it. We wish you would, but we get it.
We
You,
also have some kind of big things coming up. We don't want to talk about it
yeah,
yet until we do
but
more.
we
But
we made a lot of progress in the since just the last episode. So
yeah,
we have some big things coming.
and that money helps. And
That money helps
when
and
we're rich,
gets you some early access and more behind the scenes on the stuff outside of the podcast that we're doing.
yeah.
If you don't want to do that, we get it. You can do like one-time donations through it. However, we would recommend if you're just gonna give us money once, go to our website at allthingsnerdpodcast.com and get yourself some merch because that still helps us, and you get something out of it instead of just being like, here's some money.
Agreed. Yeah. It's very exciting. We
Yeah,
love you guys
yeah.
and girls. We love all of you.
We love all of you,
We love
and
doing this.
yeah,
That's the main
that's the
thing.
yeah. And we don't make money
Nope.
from this. We haven't talked too in depth in it, but it's going to take a long time before we pocket any sort of money that comes in through it. There's just too much that we want to do and put back into the show and give back to our listeners. So we're not trying to take your money so that we can go buy stuff and get rich and party because it's not us. But thank you. We love you. And Jake?
Am I saying it?
Go for it.
Sure. This has been the All Things Nerd podcast. I brought it
Okay.
in, so I thought
Oh
you
yeah,
would
that's
close it
fair.
out. Yeah.